Hey everybody, Casey here. I I'm still working on format and what I'm delivering to you because I really want this to be valuable and of service. And I'm fighting against myself on a regular basis. I feel alive when I'm helping people. I've done a lot of work on myself for years to come to this place of stability in my mind, in my body, and in my soul, connected to source and having an equal mind. I, I'm just working on, everybody says you got to niche down. Niche down. I need to have a specific thing that I deliver to my audience, a specific track that I need to be on, manifestation or meditation or healing or narcissism or overcoming fear, finding calm. And I've done all those things for myself, along with 900 other things that I've had to kind of relearn life from scratch. I don't know. I just keep on experimenting, and that's okay. I hope you do too. I hope you experiment with life, especially when you wake up and you realize that you've been running on autopilot your entire life, that you've been living someone else's plan for you. Because that's what happened to me. Is at 20 years old, I was completely bankrupt morally, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And when you get to that point, you're grasping for anything to hang on to life. You're looking for any shred of purpose. And what did I have to fall back on? The American dream. Marriage, kids, house, career, college. And I fell back on that hard. And I was like, that this is going to, and it did take me places. It did take me places, but eventually I burned out. Eventually I found the end of that. And what was I left with? Nothing again. Completely bankrupt. Spiritually, emotionally, mentally. I had nothing. My relationships were gone. And I had no relationship with myself. And I had no purpose, no hope. And that was at 40. So first time at 20, second time at 40. It was all really selfish. It was selfish, but not. I had a family. I have a family, but we all lived together, a wife and 4 kids. And my reason for doing everything was them. I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for you. I'm working 15 hours a day for you. I'm buying these things for you. I'm planning these vacations for you guys. A lot of it was for me, in hindsight. It was about building this ideal family that I wanted. I'll just speak for myself. I was always trying to recreate my childhood family in the way I wanted it to be, you know, kind, loving, everybody's pitching in, everybody's doing their thing, everybody's happy, taking care of themselves, taking care of each other. No, never a want, never a need. And when you try to fit people into your ideal, that doesn't go too well. I was always trying to fit my former wife and my kids into my ideal. And that means that I rejected them. That means that I didn't accept them for who they were or how they were. I couldn't even accept myself for how I was, high expectations, idealist and an optimist. That's what I always called myself. I'm an idealist and an optimist. Everything's going to go perfect. It's going to be ideal. And we cannot fail. Optimism cannot fail. Might be bumpy, but we're going to get through it and it's going to be perfect. So there's a point of abandonment of ourselves. I don't know when mine happened, maybe 5 years old. That's when I started living for other people. You like splinter off and start living a double life, like one part for myself, so I'm okay, and the other part for everybody else. And that just deepened and deepened and deepened, living for other people. It showed up first for like living for my friends, tuning into what they needed, what they wanted, what they were doing. If they bring new music or wear something different, boom, I'm tuned in. I need to tune into what they're doing because I want to be accepted and I want to be loved and I want to be cool and part of. And you can't really do that if you're not following the crowd. That goes back to tuning into my mom and dad. It's not their fault. Everybody's parents are doing as best as they can. I did as best as I could. I thought I was doing great a lot of the time. I also knew I was doing poorly a lot of the time. And I was trying to adjust and make things different and make things better for the kids and more easygoing. But it doesn't really work when you're working with fundamentally brokenness. Okay? So that's what I was working with. Fundamental brokenness in my psyche. Complex PTSD. It's like trying to put a puzzle together with three different puzzles all mixed into one. You're trying to make a perfect picture and you don't even have the right ingredients. You have the wrong recipe for life and you pass that recipe on to your kids. So the responsibility once you wake up is to find the right recipe. And really that's just a returning back to defaults. That's been my journey in the last 5 years. It's just factory reset. Look for limitations and then work through them. Get to know my body, get to know my emotions. What does grief feel like in my body? Can I handle it? What does anger feel like? What does it look like when it starts welling up? Can I observe it? Do I have to react? Do I have to smash? Do I have to run? What if I just sit and watch it? That's the huge benefit of meditation. We become non-reactive, like the Stoics. You kind of spin your mind down. You slow everything down so that you can actually see what's going on in life. In Buddhism, it's wise understanding, seeing the truth, seeing reality for what it is. What do I have to live on today? Remember when I said that I had nothing to rest on, nothing to fall back on? All I had was the American dream that kept me running for 20 years until I ran out of that. I have my breath today. Have my breath until I die. So thank God for breath. I have the moon and the stars and the sun. I have the earth. These are things I can depend on. These are things I can love. These are things that cannot fail me. Even if I lose my career and my house and my car and my license and my friends, I have myself. And I've built resilience in the last 5 years. When I was, without going into my whole journey, I have a master's degree and I was homeless at the same time. You know, education does not equal a good life. You can be completely educated and have no freaking clue. You can be completely educated and be very unhappy. You can have hundreds of thousands of dollars per year for a career and still be completely miserable. None of that is the key to life. The key to life is to know yourself. I realize that has been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Know yourself. Know thyself. It's one of my favorite podcasts with Andre. Know thyself. Because when you know yourself, you can do anything in this world. There's no limitations anymore. Say the things to the people, talk to them, meet new people, go places. It's being one with God, creator, source, the universe. In the Bible it says, if God is for you, who can be against you? If the universe is for you, who can be against you? The universe is not plotting against you. You're only up against your own limitations. You're only up against your own psyche. And you know how you start working through that? Is start getting out of your comfort zone. You live in your comfort zone for safety, but we're not really in survival mode anymore as a species. You know, I have plenty of modern safety, food safety, shelter, water supply. Like most people do not need to live in survival mode, yet we are living in survival mode. I lived in survival mode most of my life, like fight or flight. And it's really for no reason. That's an old programming. Hustle culture is kind of fight or flight. I gotta get this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Get to the top. For what? When you get to the top like that, you're still on the hamster wheel. If you falter for one moment, if you haven't learned about yourself, if you haven't learned about life, if you're just trying to get up the ladder without having any foundation in yourself or principles to rely on, then it's not going to last. It's not going to last. Here's the secret. You can do everything you want to do and be at ease. You can be relaxed. You can still work hard and be at ease. You can still put in the hours and be at ease. You can still put in the hours and take breaks. You can get all the work there is to be done and not lose yourself and not self-sacrifice, and not abandon yourself or your family. You can get all those things. Get everything you want. A lot of it is just sitting down and being quiet. A lot of it is also the opposite, taking action with the foundation of gratitude. Gratitude, purpose, faith that it will be completed in action. Let's do a 5-minute meditation together. Maybe you don't meditate. Maybe it's really difficult to meditate, but just one moment, please. And I'll guide you through it. It's really just sitting and doing nothing. So let's just not make it a big deal, okay? Just get comfortable. If your mind is spinning 10,000 miles a minute, you don't have to close your eyes. You can just have a soft gaze, just not really looking at anything. Just kind of let your body be limp and hang. You can hold your fingers together if that helps you concentrate a little bit. You can play with your eyes, like looking up towards the forehead with their eyes closed. Because when you do that, then you have something to focus the mind with. But really, we're just going to observe the breath. We're not going to modify the breath, but we'll do 5 minutes. 5 minutes? You can't sit for 5 minutes? It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Just take a deep breath in through the nose. And then with pursed lips, like you're blowing through a straw, just slowly let the breath out. This signals the nervous system that we're safe and we can relax. Take a deep breath in through the nose, same thing. Then blow it out the mouth slowly. Very long exhales. One more time, and we'll hold at the top. Then slowly let it out. Now just let the face relax around the eyes. Smooth out the forehead. Let the jaw hang down. Let the belly be loose, soft. Let the shoulders be heavy. All right, 5 minutes. Just focusing on the breath. Noticing the breath coming in and out of the body. Thoughts may be happening. This gives you an opportunity to induce mindfulness and bring your attention back to your breath. Just ignore the thoughts. We're training our capacity to notice, and we're training our capacity to focus. Just watching the thoughts happen and bringing our attention back to the breath. You're doing great. Just continue to bring the attention back to the breath. That's your anchor. Soft belly. Soft eyes. Air coming in and out of the nostrils. If the mind has wandered, just gently bring it back to the breath. Notice the body breathing. All right, that's 5 minutes. All right, thank you for watching. Thank you for being you. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.